a country thing runs strong underneath reggae. I think it's what gave reggae a lot of melody, and you know, that was the influence. It's not all covers, the album. We wrote half the album's original songs. I wrote 6, 7 songs. We covered a Willie Nelson song in there, Blue Eyes, which is a beautiful tune, and
yeah, except it's a song Willie Nelson did. He didn't.
No, he didn't write it.
It's the song that made him famous.
It made him famous. Yeah.
Yeah. Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain, which has been covered by millions of people. But I would like to stress, it's not a country album. It's a UB40 album. It's a reggae album.
We
Bob Dylan,
music,
Sonny
Bob
and
Dylan
Cher,
songs.
Billy Holiday,
Neil Diamond, you know. But it's also not unusual in reggae, is it? No. You know, the tradition of a cover in reggae is absolutely part of the music. You know, they've been doing covers.
Get a melody you love and give it some rhythm, you know.
Absolutely,
You know,
they've been doing covers of American and
it.
British hits have been covered in Jamaica, you know, since I've been listening to reggae, which is since it started. You were saying about the rhythms on this album. They're still UB40. It's still very much Earl and Jimmy, you know, locking the whole thing down, the bass and drums. You know, some of the B lines on this I think are brilliant. You know, they're simple.
but that's what we do.
But they're Earl and they're great.
That's what we've always done. You know, we're a reggae band, and the reggae has to come first, regardless as to what comes on top of it. The reggae has to come first. We may have had to try 3 or 4 different approaches at certain tracks, but you know, in the end, what's come out has come naturally.
The ones that didn't come naturally got dumped, didn't they? Generally, you know, the ones that do come naturally are the ones that make it onto the shortlist. You know, so yeah, I think as Astro says, it's reggae first and foremost. Whatever it is, whatever we've covered in the 30 years that we've done covers, you know, it's always about the reggae. It's always about making the rhythm work. You know.
So at some point we could do a dub album, take the lyrics away, and you're still left with a reggae album.
If you ever have Forever in Mind, the Vince Gill tune,
Incredible.
It's just such a fantastic
Incredible
song.
music,
And to be honest, David Harper, our manager, brought that tune to us and said, "Listen to this." And I mean, the second we heard it, we knew we wanted to do it. You know, and Duncan fell in love with the tune, and you can tell it's a brilliant song.
Lyrically, it's just brilliant.
And a brilliant melody.
Well, you know, there's a few tunes on this album, Getting Over the Storm, that were originally country tunes, became reggae tunes, and we've kind of took them back towards the country again, even though it's a reggae thing. There's He'll Have to Go, the Jim Reeves song, pure country, you know, the original version, and a great reggae version in the 70s, and I can't think of the guy's name who did it. You remember it? Remember who it was?
I think it's been done a few times.
I think
the last one I heard was Luciano did a version of it.
Yeah. But then it's a tune called Midnight Rider. It was written by the Allman Brothers.
Yeah.
Real big country tune, real big down there. And then Paul Davidson in the 70s had a hit with it. You know, so you know, we're kind of just continuing a tradition in some ways. You know, just staying close to it.
Well, yeah, I mean that's generally what we do. Is we stick to the melody, you know, but we forget the rest of it. We just treat the melody in a reggae style and forget what the previous band did, you know, or the previous artist. I mean, we didn't listen to Willie's version while we were doing our version. You know, we listened to it obviously to work out, you know, the melody and the chords, and then didn't listen to it again. Well, it was sort of organic because of the tune that we did with Robert.
Yeah.
We reworked that because we hadn't played it for 10 years or more, and because we reworked that and we were kind of getting into the idea of it, you know, and the Randy Travis tune, and it was David Harper, our manager, who said, "You ought to do an album like this. You should do an album of country tunes. What a great idea, you know." And that was when he first suggested it. It was an organic thing because we'd bring one song. I brought the Willie Nelson one, didn't I? I said, Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain, you've got to do this one. And then somebody else would bring another one and another one until we had 20 tunes. You know, and they didn't all make it to the album, but those 20 tunes were everybody's suggestions of the kind of songs we should be doing.